My next guest will face Yemi Oduwole on October the 10th at SHP 56 in the main event, and of course, it is Zack Powell himself. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I appreciate the time and excited to see you back in the cage. First, before we dive into all the fun stuff, tell me what life has been like for you during this pandemic.
It's been amazing. I've just been. I fought right before the pandemic, like the weekend before everything shut down. So I had things to work on and things to look forward to. So like I wasn't like, yes, I was itching to get back in, but like I just fought, so like it wasn't that much of a big deal, and I just perfected my game a lot more and improved a lot of aspects of things I had to work on.
Mhm. What does your day-to-day life look like? Do you have a job that you go to and then train at night or in the morning? Like, run me through a typical week for you.
Just full-time fighting. So I make sure my expenses stay very low, and I make money by giving privates, and if not, like I put money aside from fights and sponsorships, and just make ends meet that way, and just full-time fighter. So 2 sessions a day, and basically I've been all in this game for about two. Well, I've been all in since I started, but like since I turned pro, like I've been all in, like just not working and training full time and giving this everything I've got to make it to my full potential.
Have you noticed a big progression jump in your game since you've committed full time and turned pro?
Yeah, 100%. Like I don't feel. I feel like at the end of each month, like I'm just like such a better fighter. Just from like even like when I'm not in camp, like I'm still working hard and focusing on getting better. So I feel tremendous jumps and improvements, and at a young age, I feel like I'm not even close to reaching my full potential yet. So there's a lot to look forward to in the future.
Yeah. Well, you're 3-0 now as a pro. You were 6-3, if I'm not mistaken, as an amateur. What were some of the lessons that you learned from those setbacks as an amateur?
Yeah, so I was 7-3 as an amateur. Uh, two of those fights were like controversial split decisions on like local fights. But one fight I did actually learn a lot from was a fight against Urgis Segeda. I got took down in that fight in round 2 and 3, uh, and I improved a lot of things from that. And also, something I set out to do when I was fighting as an amateur was to not say no to any matchup. I didn't care much about my record. All I cared about was getting better and facing adversity. So I fought the best amateurs possible in Quebec and Ontario, and I learned a lot from that. And if I do it all over again, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah. Now, tell me how you got into MMA. What was your background? Were you a wrestler? What was that all about?
I played hockey at a very high level. Basically, uh, made it to Quebec. I made it to try out for teams in the Quebec minor hockey league or major hockey league, like QMGHL it's called. Basically like the Ontario Hockey League in Ontario and Western Hockey League out in Western Canada. So I tried out on a few teams there, but I'd already got into MMA a little bit and I already had my foot out of the door. Also, like I'm not very tall. I'm like 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. So like being a hockey player with the style I had wasn't like ideal because like I was like a grinder and like a very physical player. So I transitioned out to MMA very early and just got all into that.
What was your, I guess, style like as a hockey player? I never played hockey. Is there someone that you compare yourself to?
Like if I compare myself to someone, it'd be like Brad Marchand, where like I just like stir shit and play physical and like still able to score some goals, get some points on the board, but like disrupt our team and be very annoying.
I like that comparison. I'm from New England, so I'm a big Bruins guy. I like that. Now, my favorite mixed martial artist of all time is from up in your neck of the woods, George St. Pierre. Is that who yours is? Do you have someone that you kind of try and emulate or look up to as you move along in your career?
I think there's so many guys to look up to. Like George St. Pierre is one of them. I think all the guys are different. Like Connor, Khabib, like Henry Cejudo, DC. Like they all got their little things that they're doing well themselves. But like what makes them so interesting is that like they're all so different than each other. It's like they bring uniqueness to the table and they bring their own personality. So like I'm not going out there to emulate anyone or to like be like someone else. Like people that try to act like Conor McGregor, like you see that a lot nowadays. Like I'm going out there to be myself, like humble but like focused and just a funny guy and like giving it my all. And technique wise, like yes, I look up to all the fighters that are like performing very well, but I take different bits from every fighter. So like eventually, like someone will solve the puzzle of Khabib, or solve the puzzle of Connor, and solve the puzzle of GSP. Well, like I won't be solved yet, because I'll have all these different tricks that I could just revert to every single time.
Yeah, well, that's a great answer, and clearly things are going well right now. 3-0 as a pro, as I mentioned. Now, your first two wins, you got finishes. This last one was against Adam De Freitas. That was unanimous decision win in March, right before the pandemic hit. Are you a little disappointed that you didn't keep that streak of finishes intact, or is it just a tough opponent and a win is a good win?
It was a good win, but like yeah, I am disappointed I didn't get the finish. Looking back on it, I could have got the finish at multiple occasions. Like it was a very dominant win, 30-26 on multiple scorecards. Like I felt what 15 minutes of hard fighting was, but like sure I'm gonna chase the finish more this time out against Yemi and get back on that finishing streak.
Yeah. Now you're managed by Dodge Sports, Matt and Joey, two of the best in the business. Do you have any younger fighters, like amateur fighters, that look up to you and ask you any questions about being represented by a legit management company like Dodge Sports? And just how important is that for you at this point of your career?
I think as soon as you hit pro and have minimal success, having good management to look out for you, to find you these fights, to find you sponsorship, to guide you in the right direction is one of the most overlooked things in MMA. It's so important for the sport. I don't think no one has ever made it to the UFC without management. Like maybe in the earlier days, but like nowadays, it's like, okay, who's got the best management? Who's getting their name out there? Who's getting on these big opportunities, right? So like the better your management is, the more chance you'll have to get where you want to be. The more opportunities you will have, the better sponsors you will have. And if your manager cares for you in the long run, like Matt and Joey cares for us, well, you're in a very good situation, and you don't feel like you're just another payday for them. You feel like you actually have someone that's out there for your best interest.
Mhm. Yeah, well, that's again very well said, and a couple of great guys. I know them both pretty well, so you're in a good spot here moving forward. Now, before you leave for Alabama, which this fight against Yemi, that's where that will be held. Just tell me a little bit about this particular camp. Who have been some of your main guys you've been getting your working with, and how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling amazing. So I made the move from Ottawa to Niagara. So I'm out here training at Niagara Top Team. So some of my main sparring partners and people I go with right now, there's Xavier Nash that's out in the pro scene in Ontario. Jared Dumont, that's an amateur up and coming. There's Scott Hudson, there's also the BTC super light heavyweight champ. I also have Anthony Romero that just won on Contender Series. And as a head coach, I have Chris Prickett. So Chris Prickett is a head coach at Niagara Top Team, and I also have doing some work with Lyndon Whitlock, who is also an amazing coach.
Very cool. And as far as what you've been working on specifically for Yemi, was there anything that you've been spending more time on than anything else, or has it just been a normal camp and you're just kind of hitting every genre possible to get your work in?
I'm focused on specific things, but like it'll come out in the fight. Like it's going to be a good display of skill and a very good fight. It's going to be a very good performance.
Who's making the trip with you to Alabama for fight night?
I've got Chris Prickett coming up, and I also have one of my training partners from back home, Kevin Bastien. He also fights professionally. He just started his pro career, but like we've been training together for 8 years, and it's like moral support, cutting weight, and most of that stuff.
Gotcha. What's
We
your weight
also
at?
have a great mind. What was that?
What's your weight at right now?
Like the low 180s.
180s. How difficult is that for you to make it all the way down to your weight class? And is it something that you might have to jump up as you get older?
No, I think it'll just get easier from then on out. Like making, I don't have much trouble making 155. I do cut like a good amount of weight. Like I step in the cage at around like 175. But this time around, I'm fighting at 160, which should be easier. like it's a short-ish notice fight. So like we both agreed for 160, and I don't think Yemi has made 155 before. If so, I think he fought once and missed weight at 155. So I'd rather go out there and know he's gonna make weight and know the fight's gonna happen. And but I don't think I'll have much problem making 155. Like I'm just getting more and more disciplined and keeping the weight even lower. And like when I get up around to like the 185, 190, I'm not like I'm in shape, but like if I just like make little tweaks in my diet, I can easily get down like into high 170s.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad. I mean, most people are cutting 20 plus pounds anyways nowadays to fight at the weight class they are. So you're right in a good range there. Now, what has I guess, the restrictions and the testing and all that been like? Have you been COVID tested yet for this fight? And if not, like how many times are you going to have to do that before they clear you come fight night?
So I haven't been tested yet, but we have a Zoom call scheduled for tonight that will explain to us the process there. I'm leaving out there on the Wednesday and fighting on the Saturday night, so I'm not sure what like testing will be like. I might have to get tested here before, but I mean, it's just a simple test and not much to worry about. I'm just going out there to fight.
Yeah, I was just down at the Mohegan Sun for Bellator, and the test that they have us do, it's not that bad. It's just a Q-tip. You put it up each nostril and kind of twirl it around for 10 seconds each, and then you put it in a vial and you're good to go. So it's much easier than what I see like on what the UFC has been doing, where they jam the thing way down your throat or way up your nose. So hopefully you get that route, the one that I had at Bellator.
Yeah, let's hope so. I don't want something up my nose that deep.
No, I don't think anybody does. Now, as far as this matchup with Yemi goes, I mean, what do you feel like he does well? And do you feel like you're going to be able to hold a big advantage stylistically in a certain area here in this fight?
I feel like he does well with strength, being strong, and awkward striking. I might need a little bit of time to like not get used to it, but like figure out how I'm going to deal with it in the fight, like catch his timing, catch his movement. But once that is dealt with, the game plan is going to go to perfection. Like there's not much that Yemi has that could finish me in the fight, and I'm not worried about losing a decision to this guy. He did have a fight where he lost a clear decision and won a split somehow, but I'm not very worried of losing a split. Like this is going to be very dominant, and it most likely won't make it to the judges. Like it's going to be a finish in the second or third round.
Okay, well, I love the confidence, and again, this is a great opponent. What does a win over Yemi do for you? Like, what's next? You're 4-0, you get a win here. Do you feel like you're a viable contender for Contender Series or Bellator? Like, what are you hoping is going to happen here moving forward?
I got my eyes set on Contender Series, especially. I've been calling Jarrell Blackledge out for that fight in November. They invited him back on. He's 5-0. I'm going to be 4-0. I think it'd be a great matchup. He won his. I think Sherrard is a striker. I think he's a good striker, but he won his fight grappling because he didn't want to engage in the striking. And I got surprised he got invited back to the White Contender Series. So like, if he wants to take a fight against me, I'll definitely go out there and finish him in the first 2 rounds.
Have you heard anything from your management that they have their eyes on you and that you might be getting a call at some point soon?
No, we haven't talked about that yet. I know, like I was introduced to the Bellator matchmakers and something almost panned out there, but we're just focused on this next one. We'll figure things out after. If I'm healthy and feeling good, we're gonna be Matt's gonna be on the phone Sunday making calls to see where my next fight's gonna be. If I feel good, no injuries, no cuts, I'm back in there by November for sure.
For sure. Now, this fight with Yemi will be on pay-per-view. Strikehard.net is where you can go and buy this. Are they allowing fans in the arena, or will this be no fans in attendance?
From what I heard, it is no fans, pay-per-view only.
Pay-per-view only. And so listen, I want to give you the floor, man. Anyone that's following you, that supports you, tell them, how they can get it, how much it costs and all of that. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people tuning in buying this pay-per-view for this big fight.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to be throwing out a link on my Facebook and on my Instagram closer to the fight. And you can just rent it out there. If you want to follow me on social media, Instagram is at Powell MMA. And you can find me on Facebook at Zack Powell. And I'll post a link out there and follow me, follow the performance, and enjoy. It's going to be great.